Well, good morning. So remember Gottman talked about two kinds of marital conflict. One is solvable issues and one is what he calls perpetual issues. And obviously, if an issue keeps cropping up long-term in a relationship, it's a tougher nut to crack. And the thing that caught my attention is he says that gridlock is about dreams. The perpetual problems are about dreams. He says to navigate your way out of gridlock, you have to first understand that no matter how seemingly insignificant the issue, gridlock is a sign that you each have dreams for your life that the other isn't aware of, hasn't acknowledged, or doesn't respect. Now, the problem is that sometimes the dreams, yours or your partner's, aren't articulated, or perhaps they're not even conscious. When either spouse isn't aware of or doesn't fully appreciate the importance of supporting his or her partner's dreams, gridlock is almost inevitable. And he goes on to say, for many couples, the dream that is at the core of the conflict is not so obvious. Only by uncovering this dream can the couples get out of gridlock. And dreams could be, for example, like just feeling at peace or having a sense of freedom or exploring a creative side of yourself or being secure or having adventures. But sometimes they might not show up that obviously. So how do you know if you're in gridlock? Well, he gives you 4 clues. You've had the same argument again and again with no resolution. Neither of you can address this issue with humor, affection, or empathy. The issue is becoming increasingly polarizing as time goes on, and compromise seems almost impossible without giving up, core beliefs. So the key then is going to be to uncover the dream. So actually identify the dream or dreams that's fueling the conflict. And he shares 6 examples of where perpetual conflict shows up that he's aware of. I mean, I'm sure there's others. And then he'll give solutions later on. So for example, one partner is clean and tidy, the other is messy. One partner is too emotional, the other unemotional. One partner is more reclusive, the other more outgoing. One wants more sex, one less. One wants to spend money, one wants to save. One wants more extended family time, the other less. So he goes on to give a 4-step solution to if you're involved in gridlock or you have a perpetual issue. And the first step, obviously, is to explore the dream or dreams. And it's not about solving the problem at this point. It's just understanding why each of you feels so strongly about the issue. And then using an actual example, he concludes, the key to ending gridlock was to discuss openly why their position was so important to them, and in particular, to open up about the history behind their position and what it meant to them. Because sometimes there's a history going on as a child or growing up that it shows up in the relationship. Then the second is to be able to soothe yourself or your partner, and that the idea is that if it started to get heated, you can cool off, take time, and take a break if the conversation's heading in the wrong direction. Then step 3 is to reach a temporary compromise. And he suggests the 2-circle method. In the first circle, you have the things that you really can't budge on. And the second circle is things you can be more flexible about. And obviously you want the second circle to be bigger, to be as big as possible, and the first one to be as small as possible. And again, the compromise you come up with doesn't have to be for the next 10 years, but try it for a month or 2, see if it works better. But the key is to sort of unravel the dream, talk to each other about it, and then support each other. And then step 4 is to say thank you and give 3 specific appreciations. So he concludes this chapter with, follow these 4 steps and you'll be able to move out of gridlock on your perpetual problems. Be patient with the process and each other. By their very nature, these problems are tenacious. Okay, so that's a tough one. Anyway, next week, the last of the 7 principles, create shared meaning. So we'll see you then. Okay, have a great week.